I would like to speak here as the president of ROPETCA, which is the Romanian Association of Oil and Gas Independent Producers, as well as the country manager of Mazarine Energy in Romania, which is also an American independent oil and gas company operating fields in Romania. So in my view, I think that there is absolutely no way that geothermal can be developed on a large scale without the involvement of the petroleum industry. And actually, I do believe firmly that this is also the major contribution of the petroleum industry in the future that can be done to really participate in the energy transition towards renewable and sustainable energy sources. And many companies in the petroleum industry have already embarked or are considering embarking into geothermal developments. Colleen knows for sure in Canada this is far more advanced. In Romania, we are at the beginning of the road, and Mazarine Energy is currently the only company that has embarked on a project to repurpose some of the existing oil and gas wells in our portfolio for geothermal energy. And looking at Romania, I can say that in Romania, there are in total 60,000 wells drilled over the years. More than 99% of these wells are oil and gas wells. So there is a basis available in which to both explore the potential for geothermal energy as well as to produce eventually geothermal energy through. In my view, drilling of new deep geothermal wells in Romania at the current moment is simply too expensive, and it's probably not economic. We know, I mean, there was this latest and famous example in Ilfov County in Corbeanca, the Terme Spa. The well drilled to 3,100 meters of depth. The cost was very high. And we know this cost, they are very similar to the oil and gas wells. At the moment, the cheapest you can drill in Romania is for about 1,000 euro per meter. So a 3,000 meter well, deep well is at least 3 million euro, if not more, with all the completion and so on. Therefore, we think that the best way forward and the far more economic attractiveness of projects is given by repurposing existing wells. And there are plenty of wells that have been abandoned or suspended in Romania, all over the places. Many of them, they are in this areas with high geothermal gradients, which we know. I mean, we've seen the map of the Pannonian Basin. All the names that are popping up there are actually oil and gas fields. Jimbolia, Lovren, all of this in the Turnu area. Further north to Oradea, there is Cadea, Diosig. All these places are also oil and gas fields, and there is actually no way around, but to join forces. In Ilfov County, where Mazarine Energy has 3 fields, actually, we're operating just in the outskirts of Bucharest. They are on the Bucharest Ring Road. We are considering really stopping the oil production in these fields completely, and use the fields for geothermal projects. And we have formed an alliance with a company from the UK specialized in new technology in geothermal, new technology that is using basically closed loop systems, as Colleen mentioned, and with heat pumps that are placed downhole inside the well, and where you can have a system in place that is functioning based on one single well. Yeah, so you don't require any more well for injection and the well for production, but have everything in one closed loop inside one single well. And we do believe that this is the future because it's simply from a cost perspective far more economic to use such a system than to start to drill injection wells, for example, that are very expensive. Yeah. I think that Bucharest is actually blessed with this resource nearby. We do believe that the geothermal aquifer in Ilfov County is not fully explored. And actually, we do believe that this aquifer extends further to the east. So towards the highway to the Black Sea, in that part, Cernica, Calderaro, that area. And we think that with the goodwill of all the parties involved, especially also, as we know, the politicians, yeah, and the authorities, this energy can be harnessed for the benefit of a large town, yeah, and a large urban area where we also do have industry. Yeah, we shouldn't forget that there is a lot of industrial consumers located on the Bucharest Ring Road that can benefit from this energy source. Last but not least, we do see also going forward in the future and looking at the oil fields that are present in Romania, of course, the vast majority of oil fields are in more remote locations, and they are not necessarily near large towns with district heating needs. Therefore, probably a different market needs to be sourced for the geothermal energy. And we do believe that such a market to be explored is the agricultural market, and there are more and more agricultural needs and purposes, yeah, where geothermal energy can add value. We know that at least the southern part of Romania is heavily biased towards agriculture. Yeah, there is a lot of agriculture in Baragan area in the southern part of Romania, where there are also oil and gas fields that can be converted and or at least explored for geothermal energy. The good news is that technology advances. And if we look at geothermal technology from 10, 20 years ago and what is possible nowadays, I mean, there is a huge difference, yeah, leaps forward. And I think that what we see at the moment is that there is not anymore such a need for high downhole temperatures in order to produce geothermal energy. So the technology moves forward, and you know, you can have. We are testing now some new technology where you know, downhole temperatures of 40 and 50 degrees Celsius in a wellbore are sufficient, yeah, in order to have geothermal energy on surface that can be marketed, yeah. And if this technology advances, then of course this will make many fields attractive, yeah, for conversion into geothermal energy. And I think that Romania, at least in Europe, can play a leading role in this aspect because of having so many wells and having also geothermal gradients in some areas that can be used. I mean, we are not necessarily blessed as a country with, you know, where solar power or wind energy are, you know, the best places to be done in Europe. Yeah. But on the other hand, I do believe that in terms of geothermal energy, we can have really a leading role in Europe. Yeah. This is from my side.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spencer Coca, for your presentation and for the ideas that you shared with us, and also for opening so many direction to dialogue for the next few minutes.